the organic non-paid reach and opportunity on LinkedIn is massive. So the opportunity is there. Change is never easy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just pushing through, learn, read, listen, absorb, and just start practicing it.
Today, I'm joined by the king of LinkedIn and social selling. He's that much of an expert on the subject, he's even got 2 best-selling books. Dan Disney joins me in the studio. So Dan, LinkedIn and social selling, we hear it so often, but what exactly is it?
So it's using LinkedIn and social media as a sales tool. I think a lot of people look at LinkedIn as more of a marketing tool. And as a salesperson myself, there are lots of ways you can use it, not just to create inbound opportunities, but to create outbound opportunities. That's you proactively going and starting conversations with your target customers. That's where the selling part comes into it. And that's what a lot of salespeople and sales teams in, companies large and small are now starting to realize and starting to utilize.
And I think it's a good advantage as well, isn't it? Because LinkedIn, you can add your connections, can't you? So potentially you add in your target market there, whereas social media kind of like wait for my followers to come through. So that's a benefit of using LinkedIn. The
beauty of social selling is you kind of do both. If you get it right, you will generate inbound opportunities because you are building an audience, you're sharing content that's valuable. So you will get inquiries coming through, which is great. You'll get marketing benefits, but you're also going to be using things like messaging, sending good, not spammy sales pitch messages.
Don't want that.
Good conversation starting ones.
Yes.
So ones where you're building rapport, you're earning credibility, and ultimately then creating opportunities. And that's proactive selling.
So how did you get into this then with LinkedIn? Obviously, like you say, you have a sales background by trade. So how did you get into LinkedIn and selling through that way?
So about 8 years ago, I was working in B2B sales, and LinkedIn in the UK started to really boom. And it was kind of a right place, right time opportunity where I started to realize my customers were using it and they were there. I could find them. I could connect with them. There was information about them in their profiles, in their content. I could share content that they got value from. I could message them. And just bit by bit, all these opportunities became apparent just as that sort of wave was starting to be built, with LinkedIn sort of booming, not just in the UK, but around the world. And so I just fell into it. I just started using it. The more I used it, the more I started to generate, and it's just been the story that is still happening now. I continue to use it, continue to invest time in it, learn more things, new features come in, and it just becomes a more and more powerful sales tool.
And it's a consistent thing, isn't it? Like, you got to keep consistent because that's 8 years of work you've put into your profile and how much engagement, things like that, and your connections, well, they value your content.
Yeah, consistency is probably one of the biggest mistakes I think people make. But it's like with anything. I could join the gym today. Maybe it's January, 1st of January, New Year. Yeah, I'm going to join the gym. I go for a few weeks. And then before you know it, I've stopped going and months have gone past. And a lot of people do that with LinkedIn. They'll get some training, they'll listen to a podcast or read a book, they'll get excited, they'll do it for a little bit of time, but then they fall off because they're not getting the instant results. So you don't go to the gym and in 3 weeks, you've lost all your weight and you've got a six-pack and you're huge and strong. You have to do it for months and years. And consistency is a big part. I think one of the biggest tips I give people that want to get results from LinkedIn: schedule time in your calendar for the next 3 months. Just as a starting point, every single day have 15 minutes to half an hour as LinkedIn time, and then start doing those key activities. By the end of 3 months, you should start to see some good traction that will motivate you to continue doing it. But if you want results after the first week, you may struggle.
Absolutely. Well, what's 15 minutes in a day? What's 15 minutes in a day? And potentially longevity-wise, what that can do for your business and yourself as well, for your own profile.
Yeah, it's like planting a seed. I mean, you reap what you sow. And when you start sowing those seeds around LinkedIn, when you start building your personal brand and sharing content and growing your audience, there is no limit to it. You can have a maximum of 30,000 connections on LinkedIn, which is a lot more than the 5,000 friends you can have on Facebook. But you can have unlimited followers. So you could be growing an audience forever. There's no end point where it's going to stop. So you're just forever reaching more and more potential customers, and your profile and brand can grow with you as you progress through your company, as you move into other roles, or maybe when you start your own business and suddenly you're not starting a business with nothing at the start line.
Certainly not.
You've got a name, you've got an audience, and you're able to hit the ground running. So there's lots of advantages. Whilst it may seem like, I'm spending 15, 30 minutes and I've got nothing to show for it right now, after a few months, and certainly as the years start to go, the results start to grow and it will start to speed up. So it's that long-term piece. It's looking a bit ahead.
Forwards.
Yeah, and using that motivation to drive you through the activities.
So where do people tend to go wrong with LinkedIn then, Dan, when it comes to social selling?
There's two things that salespeople do, especially, and business owners and entrepreneurs fall into this trap as well. Number one is spammy sales pitch messaging. A lot of people, unfortunately, I don't know if it's like autopilot into selling, right? If I need to sell something, I need to pitch something.
Yeah.
And they'll just create this template and then copy and paste it and spam it out to as many people as they can, thinking that that's going to generate business.
It's like applying for a job, isn't it? It's like when you don't change your CV, you send that same email, what you're going to do is, as an employer, you're just going to go, delete.
Yeah,
Delete.
without personalising the cover letter, you're just generically sending something out and hoping that against all the other CVs they're going to get, they're going to choose you. And that's not how sales or recruitment work. So spammy sales pitch messaging is what inspired me to write my first book, which is the £1 Million LinkedIn Message. And I wrote that about 2 years ago now. My inbox, the decision makers, the CEOs I was talking to, was just filled with spammy, non-personalized messages. And they don't generate business. They're a waste of time for the salesperson, and you're going to scare away potentially really good customers.
Absolutely.
So the key is, it's not about you. Your message isn't about you. If I'm trying to sell you something, it's not about me coming to you and telling you what I'm selling. It's about me understanding what problems you have that I can solve with my product. And so your messaging needs to be about them. It's not about what you're selling. It's about what your product can do for them.
And it's going back to your old school sales mentality then, isn't it? You know, your original bread and butter, you're applying it in a different format.
Exactly. I imagine there's a lot of people listening to this or watching this that have seen Wolf of Wall Street, and they know the sell me this pen example that they utilize. And you go up to most people, salespeople and non-salespeople, and you say, sell me this pen. 99% of the time, they will try and sell you this pen. They will describe how amazing this pen is in a bid to sell it to you. That's completely the wrong way to go about it. The real salespeople out there know that they'll just start asking you questions. What pen do you currently have? What do you use your pen for? What's wrong with your current pen? And what they'll do is then be able to present this pen as a solution, as a better option for you. And that's what selling is. And when we look at messaging through LinkedIn, that's the key to doing it. Make it more about them and less about you. Your ROI is going to skyrocket from that.
Definitely. And are there any other bad tips that you've picked up along the way? I'm sure you got all of them.
Yeah, there's probably a long list. Number two, if we were to focus on two of the biggest ones, number two is profiles.
Yeah.
So your LinkedIn profile is kind of like a CV. And
yes, definitely.
LinkedIn, amazing place to get a job. And if you're looking to get a job, absolutely should be a CV.
Yeah.
If you're looking to get customers and to generate business, again, it's not about you, it's about them. They're not trying to hire you. And especially for salespeople, if you're writing a CV trying to get a sales job, you need to boast about how great you are at selling. They want to know how many times you smashed your targets and all that wonderful stuff. But if a customer sees that, that's going to scare them away. I mean, I go into a shop, and if I see a salesperson coming towards me, I'm walking the other direction.
Yeah, because you know the score, you know what it's all about. But it's knowing your audience. If you're using LinkedIn for selling, do it this way. If you want it for work, it's a completely different format.
Exactly. And if you want to sell through your profile, make it about them. Focus it on them. Tell them who do you help. Tell them how you help them, what you can help them achieve. Make it fully focused on them. And what you'll get is two sort of funnels. It's going to funnel people out that aren't interested in what you sell, which is great. You're not going to waste your time on people that aren't going to convert into business. And it's going to check, sort of like a checklist, check people in that think, oh yeah, I am that person. Oh, I do need that. Actually, we do have that challenge. I'm going to pop them a message, or I'm going to connect with them, or I'm going to look at their content. That's the type of thing you want your profile to do. So it's changing it again, less about you, more about them.
And then as well, people who don't know you're on LinkedIn, or they haven't even got your books, you are the king of social selling. So you know the score, you know all about it. So say if you start from scratch, what beginning tips would you recommend to people?
If you're starting from scratch, profile number one, always the first thing to do. Just optimize your profile, make it fully about your customers. Then the two things you want to start doing is growing your audience. I see a lot of people come onto LinkedIn. They'll do some of the other core activities, but they don't grow their audience manually. And then you're just limited. It's like going into a room and just talking. You can only sell to the same amount of people. So every day you kind of want to be growing your audience. And you want to start sharing content. When you start growing your audience and sharing content, you build what is your personal brand.
Yeah.
And people buy from people. No one wants to be sold to, but we do buy things. And we buy now from people that we admire and we look up to on social media. So you have this opportunity by sharing relevant content, showing yourself as someone who's knowledgeable, credible, relevant in the industry. Then people will be attracted to you. As long as you maintain that trust and credibility, when they're ready to buy, they'll come to you. Or when you are ready to start a conversation, they're going to be more open to it. And, again, I spent most of my sales career making cold calls, knocking on doors to people who had no idea who I was. Half the time didn't know who the company was that I was working for. That's a hard slog to try and sell something.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
It's only got harder over the years as buyers have more knowledge and power. Whereas now, when you can utilize things like LinkedIn and build a brand, when you talk to people, even if it's the first time you've spoken to them, sometimes they know you. They know who you are. They've got value from you.
People love that as well. And it makes them want to rebuy again. It's kind of, if they're, oh yeah, I'm going to buy that again. Even if it's months down the line, it's more beneficial to them because they trust you. You've built that relationship.
Stronger, longer lasting relationships. It's taking away that sort of short-term perspective that salespeople have where they're just so desperate to get that one sale. They sometimes forget, actually, maybe I could build a relationship that goes on for multiple sales, referrals. And again, building it through social just amplifies what you may do outside of social media with Zoom meetings or face-to-face, where again, you can just maintain relationships for years.
And that's the thing with social media, it's not going anywhere, is it? It's not going anywhere, it's only going to get bigger and better, but you just got to embrace it, just go with it, make some serious money with this.
You do, it's there, the opportunity's there. And LinkedIn, especially right now, the organic non-paid reach and opportunity on LinkedIn is massive, and it won't be there forever. LinkedIn is maybe 3 to 5 years behind where sort of Facebook was a few years ago, when it became a more pay-to-play model. You can't launch a business on Facebook without spending some serious money trying to grow an audience and reach people. Whereas on LinkedIn, you don't have to spend a penny to use LinkedIn to huge effect. And then some people grow businesses, multiple 6-figure businesses without spending a penny on LinkedIn. No ads, no premium features, just your raw, basic free account. That opportunity is probably going to be around for another 12 to 18 months before it will start to change significantly. So the opportunity is there. Change is never easy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just pushing through, learn, read, listen, absorb, and then just start practicing it. It's Simon Sinek uses a great analogy. You look at the mountain, and a lot of people will look at it and think, "Oh, I just want to be at the top." But you have to take each step at a time to get up there.
It's taking the view where you currently are and where you can get your next steps on. But once you know your method and your mechanism, you're laughing, aren't you?
It's true. Like each step, maybe today you add 10 new connections, and then maybe tomorrow you share a bit of content. Just take each step at a time. Before you know it, suddenly I've grown by 100 connections. Didn't realize that. I've shared a few posts and I'm getting some engagement. It will come, but just treat each day as it is. Don't take anything to heart. Don't take anything personally. Don't focus on engagement. Just go out there, try and give value, try and help people, and bit by bit, it will start to build.
Absolutely. So Dan, where can people, obviously you're on LinkedIn, where if people want to access your services or get to more information, where can people find you?
I am obviously on LinkedIn most of the time. I do have a website, danieldisney.online, which has a whole host of resources, and I'm genuinely passionate about helping people with LinkedIn. So if anyone has any questions or is keen to utilize it, pop me a message. I'm here to help.
And you're the best-selling book author as well. That helps as well. So you definitely know your stuff.
2 books, a third on the way, and I'll write and create as much LinkedIn resource as I can to help people.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
That was a really insightful episode with Dan. It just goes to show you can make some serious money from LinkedIn all by stepping up your selling techniques. So imagine long-term wise, you can make so much more money than you're already on from a free service. Join me next time in the podcast studio.